I'm a pretty new angler, in fact, not been old, around 4 to 5 years, in Teesta especially. And I've heard stories about, the amount of fish that used to be out here, but right now it's really different. We used to, feel scared and we used to revere this river. But right now, it's because of the construction of the dams and all these things, this river is not the river that it used to be. Earlier, at this time, it used to be emerald green. And right now, you can see the color of the river. As well as the size, the volume of the water, the way it gets reduced. It's really erratic.
So what happens is, because of this damming, in stretches where the Mahasir used to be in abundance, nowadays they cannot populate. The procreation process is also getting hampered. The food on which they were surviving, that also has become stale or inadequate. So there has been a severe depletion in the population. There are huge stretches of the Teesta which is absolutely placid. There's no waves. It just looks like a tank or a pond. No ripples, nothing. This is all because of the unregulated damming, and the discharge also has not been commensurate as per the specific norms which are set. The natural habitat has been destroyed systematically.
Further upstream, across the border and into the state of Sikkim, lies the Teesta Stage 5 hydropower project. Now completed, Teesta 5 is the largest project on the Teesta River.
In fact, this project started off without getting the statutory and the mandatory clearances which is required from the Ministry of Environment and Forests, which is again a gross and very startling violation. On specific periods of time, they store the water, and that water is again flowed into the turbine of the powerhouses through tunnels, which has been dug into the mountains. This has hampered the free flow of the river, despite of being a run-of-the-river scheme.
On our way back downstream, I took note of how, between the Stage 5 dam and the pump house, the Teesta exists only as a stream. From my prior experiences earlier in my trip, I knew how destructive this must be to the river's ecosystem. Later that day, I met with a man just downstream of Yogmaya, who showed me around his home and terraced farm, which were set high above the river. When we sat down to talk, he told me a heartbreaking story regarding the compensation he was guaranteed by selling his land for the Teesta 5 powerhouse site.
कसरी थाहा पाउनु भन्नु नाउजो आए हो यो मलाई चाहियो ट्याङ्की बनाउन के बनाउन भन्न पाइपहरू लगाए त्यही त फर्स्टमा उम्बै बताएको कुरा गर्दाखेरि अहिले पाउँछ जमिन राम्रै हिसाबले पैसा पाउँछ भन्ने कुरा भयो हुन्छ भनेर दिउ पनि तर अहिले बिचमा फाल्टो मान्छेले खाइदियो आफ्नै पञ्चायतहरूले खाइदिइहाल्यो पैसा चाहिँ माथिबाट राम्रै पाएको थियो होला नि पैसा तर बिचमा खाइदिएर अहिले छैन अहिले सुकुम्बासी जस्तो भयो आफ्नो उसले बाजेले जोतेको जमिनहरू छैन अहिले ऱ्याङफ्याङ भयो त्यस्तैमा जम्मै पहिरो भयो
After talking with the local people who have been affected in so many ways by the Teesta 5 project, I began appreciating the toll development like this can have on the people who often don't have an opportunity to speak for themselves. I stayed with Tenzing Lepcha, a man who has played an active role in the fight against the dams. He took place in 2 hunger strikes during 2007 and 2008, which eventually forced the Sikkimese government to scrap 4 hydro projects that were planned in Jonggu. Today, he continues the fight against the proposed Teesta Stage 4 dam, which would submerge his newly built home and run tunnels underneath his ancestral village.
Okay, like the name of this lake is Tumkyung Lake, so it's very sacred for us. So one clan called Hiyongdingmo, their creation story has been started from this lake, and it's very important for us to preserve it, So once the dam comes and once they do underground tunneling, this is chances of shipping down this lake, which is very important for us to preserve it.
By the time I reached my journey's end, I had met countless wonderful and welcoming people and seen jungle gorges, high peaks, and clear, powerful Himalayan rivers that left me speechless. but I had also seen the effects of what I came to regard as a develop-at-all-costs mentality. I found along the Teesta River evidence of the terrible danger that development poses to ecosystems, livelihoods, and traditions if the proper precautions and planning processes are ignored. I came to see the Teesta River as a holistic entity along whose churning path exist biologically unparalleled yet fragile ecosystems and diverse cultures and traditions that are each intricately bound to the river and thus the river's future. It is my hope that in the face of India's insatiable appetite for electricity, hydropower projects along the Teesta and all of the Himalayas' great rivers will be undertaken cautiously and with a firm understanding of the holistic effects this type of development has on the unique environments and histories that make up this part of the world.
आघातै पर्यो मनमा मेरो संसार देखेर आँसुको धारा आँखामा बग्यो टिस्टालाई देखेर खोला त्यो हाम्रो नाला भएछ बादलले छेकेर नदी त्यो हाम्रो सुक्न पुगेछ बिजुली बेचेर रिसौ आमा तिमी बगाई लैजाऊ हामी तोड सहनशीलताको बादल फोड सिमेन्टको बादल बगाऊ सबै बगाऊ लैजाऊ सबै लैजाऊ बगाऊ सबै बगाऊ लैजाऊ सबै लैजाऊ मानिसले कहिले बुझ्ने छैन जे गरे पनि रुँदो रहेछ प्रकृतिको मन धेरै भनी बुझाउन पर्ने मानिसलाई अब समय आयो बगाई लगेको दिन मात्र उसले बुझ्ने भयो मान्छे बगाएको टिस्टा पुलमाथि चढेर हेर्ने छु दृश्य घर सोरेको पहाडमाथि बसेर सुन्ने छु आवाज मान्छे कराएको भयले चित्कार छोडेर देख्ने छु अब मान्छे रोएको मृत्यु अगाडि देखेर मान्छे बगाएको टिस्टा पुलमाथि चढेर हेर्ने छु दृश्य घर सोरेको पहाडमाथि बसेर सुन्ने छु आवाज मान्छे कराएको भयले चित्कार छोडेर देख्ने छु अब मान्छे रोएको मृत्यु अगाडि देखेर
We'll sell our beauty, not sell our land.